Chris Carter hit a 3-run homer in the 4th inning, and CC Sabathia shut out the Red Sox for 8 innings and an 8-0 win for the New York Yankees on Wednesday night. Welcome into the Boston Red Sox newsfeed postgame recap. I'm Jess Thomas reporting for CLNS, a leading online provider of audio-visual coverage for the Boston Red Sox. Riding a 3-game win streak coming in, a weaker lineup, and a strong outing from an old veteran spelled disaster for Boston. Both Rick Porcello and Sabathia were solid through 2 innings as Boston had 2 hits and New York had none. But in the third, Didi Gregorius took Porcello deep in right center for a solo shot and a 1-0 lead. It could have been a lot worse as Chase Headley and Chris Carter hit back-to-back singles. Carter started running to second base when Headley was still standing there, but Devin Marrero bailed him out as he waited too long to throw the ball back to first, ended up throwing it away, and the runners took second and third. But Porcello bared down and struck out Brett Gardner, got Aaron Hicks to pop out, and then after an intentional walk of Aaron Judge, Matt Holliday flied out to keep the game 1-0. Unfortunately, the Yankees created more momentum in the 4th as Starlin Castro led off with a triple and was singled home by Gary Sanchez to make it 2-0. 2 batters and 1 hit later, Carter hit his big 3-run blast to put the Bombers comfortably ahead 5-0. Sabathia gave up 5 hits, 1 per inning, through the first 5, but after the 5th he was lights out. He retired the final 12 batters of his outing, which encompassed the last 3 outs of the 5th, the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. In the meantime, New York got another run to Porcello's tally, this one unearned. Gardner was safe on an error by Rutledge, and after Blaine Boyer came in, Gardner scored on an infield single by Matt Holliday to pad the lead to 6-0. Boyer struggled in the 8th as Carter and Gardner both got RBI singles to reach 8 runs. It's pointed out by the Boston Globe's Pete Abraham, this is the 6th time in 13 starts that Boston did not score a single run while Porcello was in the game. He falls to 3-8 with a 4.46 ERA as he gave up 8 hits, 6 runs, and 5 earned in 6 1/3 innings. On offense, Rutledge had 2 of the Sox 5 hits, and they were both for extra bases, a triple and a double. Those were the only 2 extra base hits for Boston, who was 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Sabathia was almost untouchable as he had no walks and 5 strikeouts and only threw 95 pitches in 8 innings. He is now 7-2 with a 3.66 ERA in the season, and he's won 5 straight starts. He has not given up more than 2 runs in any of those 5 starts. Mookie Betts had a great catch in this one, robbing Carter of his 2nd home run. A fan in the first row actually guided the ball into Betts' glove, but fan interference was not called and it was not reviewed. On offense, however, Betts' average has dropped 17 points in the last week, and he's down to 259 after an 0 for 4 performance tonight. According to ESPN Stats and Info, this is the worst shutout loss for the Red Sox against the Yankees since June 27, 1991 at Fenway. For some perspective, I was born 3 months after this occurrence, so it's been a little while. In a few somewhat awkward moments, Sox analyst Jerry Remy apologized on air at the beginning of the telecast for his comments on Masahiro Tanaka in the translator that he had already apologized for on Twitter. Also, in a piece by Dan Shaughnessy of the Boston Globe, David Price told him that he is not going to talk to Boston media on any day that he doesn't pitch anymore. He refuses to do any more personal interviews or anything of that nature. Boston looks to take the rubber match of the series on Thursday when the aforementioned Price takes the hill for the 3rd time this year against Michael Pineda, who is 6-3 with a 3.76 ERA this season. Game time is 7 o'clock, and the Sox will look to get back within a game of the Yankees. This has been Jess Thomas for CLNS.